Every moment we wake up, we are offered a choice. A choice to be who we were yesterday, or a choice to step into a version of ourselves that exists beyond what we have known. That choice is where transformation begins. And sometimes, all it takes is a few simple, potent truths to ignite that shift within us. Words, when spoken with intention and felt with presence, become commands to the subconscious mind. They become anchors in the storm and the fuel to the fire of personal evolution. You don't need a new life. You need a new mindset. Think about that. Most of us search tirelessly for something outside ourselves to change. New jobs, new relationships, new environments. But transformation doesn't start with moving to a new city or finding a new partner. It begins the moment you change the way you think. The mind is the origin of reality, and the thoughts you rehearse daily are what sculpt the narrative of your existence. Your mindset is not just a lens. It is the projector of your reality.
Alter the script, and the scenes in your life begin to change.
When you believe in a future you can't see, you create it. Belief is not wishful thinking. Belief is the energetic signature of certainty, of presence in the future. It's seeing the invisible and stepping toward it before it has materialized. The heart doesn't wait for proof. It creates it. The quantum field doesn't respond to what we want. It responds to who we are being. The more we feel as though our desired reality is already true, the faster that reality begins to align itself with us. You are not waiting for the miracle. You are the miracle in motion. Your personality creates your personal reality. Who you are, your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors form a unique vibrational pattern. And that pattern calls experiences into your field that match it precisely. If you want to change your life, you must first begin by changing who you are being. Not superficially, not temporarily, but truly and consistently. This requires awareness. It requires the courage to disrupt the familiar and step into the unknown. The moment you do, the universe meets you halfway. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. When you embody gratitude, not just as an act, but as a state of being, you tell the universe you already have what you desire. And what you feel you already have, you attract more of. Gratitude dissolves resistance. It expands your field and harmonizes your frequency with abundance. Feel it before the evidence shows up. Live it as though it's already done. That's how you unlock the unseen support that's been waiting for your signal. You cannot create a new future by holding on to the emotions of the past. The past isn't just behind you. It's encoded in your body, your habits, your triggers. As long as you're carrying the emotions of a previous version of yourself, you're unconsciously recreating the same patterns. Healing happens when you release the emotional addiction to what's been. When you decide to stop reliving old memories, you free up energy to imagine new possibilities. Emotional freedom is the gateway to creative freedom. Where you place your attention is where you place your energy. Most people scatter their energy, caught in distractions, fears, regrets, and external validation. But focused attention is sacred. It's the currency of creation.
What you water grows.
If you consistently place your attention on lack, that's what you multiply. But if you place it on what you are becoming, on love, expansion, joy, that's what begins to bloom in your life. The mind, like a garden, thrives when you are intentional about what seeds you plant. Repetition is the language of the subconscious mind. One empowering thought, repeated consistently with emotion and clarity, becomes a belief. And belief is the gateway to behavior. Repeating an affirmation isn't about mindless chanting. It's about impressing the subconscious with a new instruction. The subconscious doesn't respond to logic. It responds to feeling and repetition. Tell it something long enough, feel it strongly enough, and it begins to rewire your identity from the inside out. The body is the unconscious mind.
Your body memorizes your emotional habits.
That's why you can wake up in the morning and feel the same sadness or anxiety without a clear trigger. It's not that something is wrong. It's that your body has become conditioned to feel that way.
To change it, you must teach the body how it feels to live in the future you desire.
You must become emotionally familiar with joy, with freedom, with abundance. This is how you break the addiction to survival and step into creation. Don't wait for your life to change so you can feel better. Feel better so your life can change. Most people postpone their happiness. They wait for external validation before giving themselves permission to feel worthy, successful, or fulfilled. But that waiting becomes a pattern, and the pattern becomes a prison. The truth is, when you start to feel elevated emotions now, before the evidence, you become magnetic to those realities. Emotion is not a reaction. It is a tool of creation.
The unknown is where all possibility lives.
We fear the unknown because we can't control it. But it's in the unknown that the seeds of miracles are planted. If you want a new outcome, you must be willing to step outside the familiar. The predictable is just recycled past. The unknown holds everything that has never happened before. That's where evolution begins. That's where identity transforms. That's where you meet the version of yourself who has already become. Energy flows where attention goes. This isn't just a nice phrase. It's physics. Your attention acts like a magnet, charging your intentions with frequency. If you want to attract love, place your attention on what it feels like to be loved.
If you want abundance,
tune your awareness to the vibration of having more than enough. The moment your attention aligns with what you want, the process of becoming begins. And becoming is the bridge between who you were and who you are destined to be. You're not a victim of your genes. You're a creator of your destiny. Genetics may load the gun, but it's your environment, beliefs, and emotional state that pull the trigger. Epigenetics has proven that we can influence gene expression with our thoughts, feelings, and choices. You are not limited by biology. You are empowered by consciousness. The moment you change your energy, you signal a new potential to your body.
You awaken healing, transformation, and evolution from within.
To change is to think greater than your environment. If you let the external world dictate how you feel, you are enslaved to it. But if you rise above it, if you choose to think, feel, and act as though your desired future is already true, you begin to master your reality. Change doesn't come from reacting to life. It comes from creating ahead of the curve, from becoming the signal, not the echo. When you stop responding to the environment and start influencing it, you begin to embody power. The feeling is the prayer. Words alone don't create. Emotion is what gives words their creative power. If you say, I am abundant, but feel fear, the signal you emit is scarcity. But when you say it and feel it, when your words and your frequency match, you become the living prayer. You tune yourself to the vibration of what you desire, and the universe responds. Feel it in your bones. Speak it with conviction. Let your whole being align with the future you're calling in. Thoughts are the language of the brain. Feelings are the language of the body. If you want to change, you must bring both into harmony. The brain can imagine the future, but the body must feel it to believe it. When the mind and body are in coherence, you access a state of power, of flow. You become a magnet for synchronicity. Your biology becomes aligned with your destiny. Your inner world begins to mirror the outer. Your future is more real than your past. The past is stored data. It's evidence of what was, not what must be. If you continue to use the past to predict your future, you are living in a loop. But if you can mentally and emotionally invest in a future that excites you, so deeply that it feels more real than your memories, you start to collapse time. You pull the future into the now.
That is the power of conscious creation. Every time you choose the familiar, you reinforce the past.
That means every moment is an opportunity to disrupt the loop, to act in a way that's different from your programming. That's the moment of liberation. When you feel the impulse to stay small but choose expansion. When you feel the fear but take the leap anyway. That's when you're no longer living by the script. You're rewriting it. Your job is not to figure out how, but to become the person who already has it. The how is not your responsibility. Your job is to align your energy, thoughts, and emotions with the end result. To think from the vision, not toward it. When you embody the version of yourself who already has what you desire, life begins to reorganize around your vibration. The how takes care of itself when the who is aligned. Presence is the portal. The mind wants to time travel, to the past, to the future, but power lives in the now.
The present moment is where you access infinite potential.
It's the only moment where change can happen, where healing can occur, where creation takes form. When you are fully present, you become timeless. And in timelessness, miracles unfold. You train your brain by who you become.
Every thought you think wires your brain.
Every emotion you feel teaches your nervous system what's normal. If you want to train your brain for greatness, feed it with elevated thoughts and feelings.
Make joy your baseline.